Woohoo! Thanks for dancing with me, guys. Yay! It is a lot of fun to dance, and it's really good for your brain. It's good for your body. I don't know, I kind of worked up a little sweat there. Did anybody else? Whew. Susan, did you work up a sweat there? All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna ask you guys some questions. And let's see, we've got so many good people on here. Thank you, good job, good job. All right, great. Let me see if I can put a gallery view in here. Oh, perfect. Okay, everybody put gallery view on. So, and it's up at the top right, and it looks like it's a grid. Everybody's got it pretty much? There's up at the top right, there should be a thing that you can see. It says view, and you can do, yeah, and you can, it looks like a grid.
Yeah, I won't get it on my phone.
Oh, because you're on your phone. Okay.
I'm on the phone.
Got it. That's good. All right, good. So what we're gonna do first is I'm gonna take you guys off of mute. Everybody take yourself off of mute.
Done.
All right, good. And then let's all give a big woohoo, just to get the energy flowing too, okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3, woohoo! Yay. All right, great job. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and mute you guys. I'm still admitting people. So I'm gonna go ahead and mute everybody. Good job. If you need to talk to me, if you have a question or want to speak, go ahead and just raise your hand so I can see. Okay, everybody just kind of give me some flashes. Big open fingers. Open them up, big. Now keep them open. Now push your hands away from you and move your fingers. Oh, terrific. Good, now give me wiggle fingers and release. Go ahead and shake those shoulders. Roll the shoulders. Good job. All right, so I'm gonna ask you guys, let me know based on your fingers, we have 10 fingers, we're gonna do a little survey of from 1 to 10, how are you feeling relating to stress? How stressed are you generally during this pandemic? Are you from 1, you're probably comatose, not even paying attention. 10, you're like ready to jump off the cliff. So give me your fingers. Maylee, I see, is that 5 or 4? 4. Maylee's at a 4. Susan's at a 4. A little more there. Yep. So we're definitely there, right? So when you're at something that is, it's definitely something that we're dealing with right now, right? Yeah. Can you guys hear me okay? Am I too loud? Am I screaming? All right.
We're muted.
Yeah, no, you thumbs up, thumbs down. So we are definitely in something that is taking a toll on our bodies, our minds, our emotions. And I just want to let you know that you are behaving wonderfully if you feel a little more pissed off at people, if you feel a little bit depressed, if you feel like you're not as creative as you want to be, if you feel like you can't get anything done, if you feel like it just is overwhelming. Those are very normal feelings when we're under stress, okay? So honor that, just know that right now that you're okay. So take a big deep breath and exhale it out. Good, how about one more? Inhale. Fill up your belly and then exhale it out. So I'm so glad that we did our little dance party too. So I'm gonna share my screen And I have just some slides that I wanted to show you, just so you know who I am. So I'm Rebecca Kahn, and I started life taking horrible care of myself. I had I had bad body image. I had didn't know how my brain worked, so I had an inner mean girl constantly talking to me. But besides all that, I did manage to graduate from college. I had a lot of fun in college, at least what I thought was fun. And I was able to work in the corporate life as an AT&T. I was a national accounts manager for AT&T. And they moved me to a different city, and I had a great time doing it. It was a lot of fun until I met my husband. Then the fun went, no, I'm kidding. And once I met my husband, we again had so much fun. He traveled a lot, and we got to go to different places. And within a year, we had my first daughter, Sydney. And then in another couple years, I had Danielle. And I just felt like it wasn't good for them with a father who traveled so much, and me being at my job all the time, to have the two kids while I was while I was trying to do the career as well. So I became a stay-at-home mom, and I was so blessed to be a stay-at-home mom. I loved it, but I got a little bored, so I started working out. And before that, I really wasn't much of a person who worked out. I certainly wasn't eating very good. Before I had my daughter, my first daughter, I was a 2-pack-a-day smoker. Yep. And I had all the corporate stresses and everything else going on. So I kind of went into the gym, and the gym made me feel like I was honoring my body, honoring me as a person. It made me feel good. So I became a personal trainer first. Then I became a yoga instructor. Then I just learned everything I possibly could learn about weight training, about spinning, about people's bodies. And I loved it. I had a real knack for it. I loved helping people get to know their bodies and helping them feel really strong and capable and good about themselves, especially women. I wanted women to feel good about themselves. So as I was doing that, I found out a little bit more about health coaching and became a health coach. I helped women with their weight issues. I became a nutrition coach as well. And what I found out with coaching women on their weight and their exercise and training them was that it's so much more than a diet and exercise. Your health, your well-being, your emotional fitness and mental fitness and physical fitness is a combination of everything, right? It's all encompassing. And what I found was that a lot of people were looking outside of themselves to have that health. And they were looking for that diet, that perfect diet that someone was going to tell them what to eat, how to do this, that perfect workout that was going to help them be strong and lose weight. And I just went the other way. I was tired of that. I had seen too much disordered eating. I had seen too much disordered exercising, that I just dove into life coaching. I became interested in positive psychology. And then I also became a neurolinguistic programming practitioner, which is a way that we can speak to our unconscious mind. Okay, I look at the unconscious mind. I'm going to do another screen. I'm going to do oops, I forgot that I didn't do the, I'm going to share you another screen here, and I'm going to go to make a picture. Now, I'm definitely not an artist, and those artists that are out there, I know you, and you're going to be really, don't get your hopes up. All right, so I'm going to, this is going to be a boat. All right, that's a really sad looking boat. Let's just say that this is the top. Okay, now does it look like a boat? A little bit? Thumbs? No? So on the boat, there's this captain, and he's the head of the boat, and he is in charge of this boat. But he is like really smart, and he can think ahead, and he can plan where he wants to go, and he knows all this stuff that's going on with this boat. But even though he says that he wants to go to the Bahamas, he can't get there himself. he needs all these little crew members to help him get to the Bahamas. Now, these crew members have been on the boat since the start of the boat, since the boat was built. And all these crew members have all kinds of jobs to do to keep the boat safe, to keep it on the water, to keep it from going where it shouldn't go. But these crew members, because they've been on there so long, they actually came on when they were little and they've stayed little. So they're about, all of them are about 3 years old, but they're in charge of where this boat goes. So no matter what the captain says, I want to go to the Bahamas, if those crew members say, I don't know about Bahamas, I want to go to Miami, the boat's going to go to Miami. Okay? It's the same with us with our actions. So if the captain says, I'm tired of feeling stressed, I'm not going to be stressed anymore. Well, these crew members don't know anything but feeling stressed. So we have to understand those crew members before we can get to where we want to go, the Bahamas, right? Okay. Anybody have any questions? Everyone's good? Okay. All right. Good. So I'm going to share my screen again. You guys are doing good. All right. So with our, okay. So now I have, there we go. Okay. So that's me. And that was me on a mountain doing a triangle pose because I love climbing mountains and I love yoga. This is my cutie patootie Amidala. And she's about a 5-pound little hairy, she sheds a lot, little chihuahua, and she's kind of covering her face and hiding. So I just want to let you know that it's okay sometimes for us to feel like we want to just cover our face and hide. And I will use my dogs, and of course I have to give equal time to my other dog, Luke. Okay, but we are going to kind of use them as an example for us on how our brains behave in just a minute. So here is your stress response. Okay, so we have a stress response to keep us safe. And it's the little crew members down on the boat that are in charge of keeping us safe. And their job is to be on all the time. That brain is looking for things that are going to hurt us all the time. If something is rustling, it thinks that it's going to be attacked. If somebody looks at them weird, we think that we're going to be hurt or unloved. So there's a lot of pre-negative conditioning in our bodies and in our brain. So these are some of the things that happen when we're stressed. It's the fight, flight, or freeze reaction. And those are the 3 things that we do when we come across something that is very scary. And I'm a freeze person. I will just shut down and do nothing. I'm going to unmute you guys, and I want to see if you can let me know. I want you to just yell out what you are, whether you are a freeze person, okay, so unmute yourself and let me know whether you're a freeze person, whether you just kind of don't move, can't move, whether you're a flight person, whether you run away, or whether you fight, if you get mad, okay? So everybody at once.
Freeze.
Fight.
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 It depends.
Depends, yeah. And sometimes it does, it depends on what danger you're under. Yeah, but you definitely recognize it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very, it's something that once we can see it and recognize it, we can handle it a little bit better. So thank you guys. All right, round of applause for all of you guys. Thank you. All right, I'm going to share my screen again. Let's get that up again. All right, so this is what happens to us when we are under attack. Our heart starts beating faster, and our breathing becomes very shallow but quick. We start sweating, right? Our arms become heavy and we put all of the blood to our legs so we can run, right? Even though we might not run and we want to freeze, that's still happening in our body, right? You might get a flush of heat. You completely stop your digestion. We cannot process food when we are in this kind of situation, when we're stressed, especially when bear's coming at you, right? Lots of things are happening to our internal systems, all of our internal systems. Our lungs, we do a very shallow up here breath instead of a big belly breath, which serves to calm our system. So all of these physical responses that are just reactions to what we think is a threat creates more and more and more of those reactions and creates more and more of our body and our brain thinking that there's a threat. Now, even though you are not being chased by a grizzly bear right now, we still have that low-lying stress response, okay? With this pandemic, we don't know what's going on. We have a bigger sense of the unknown. We have care for people we love. We're worried about the people we love. We don't know whether we can see people we love. We're stuck inside the house. We're not seeing friends. We're not part of our social environment. Some of us are laid off or furloughed or, just having financial worries, right? So our body and our brain and our emotions are under this low level. Some of us were low, some of us were a little bit higher, right? But even though your body is in this low level stress. So if you look, you're still getting those physical reactions that are causing harm to your body. If we cannot release that big stress surge, then it continues and breaks down our heart, creates high blood pressure. Our blood thickens. We have high cholesterol because it hardens the arteries. Our muscles are constantly tense. We're tense up here. We're more forward headed. We're still breathing very shallowly. We're not getting big, deep inhales into our lungs. And we probably are not taking care of ourselves and doing the behaviors that we need to do, like eating healthy. We're probably buffering and maybe overeating. Maybe, I don't know, any of you guys, if when you get stressed, you go to the chocolate. Is that something that you automatically do, or the donuts, or we all have our little triggers, right? Well, that's our body trying to help us calm down. So it's okay. It's okay. Now that we're aware of it, we have a chance to help with it. So my whole point, the way I coach people, I teach them how their bodies and their brains work. Because if I just give them, for example, the diet, right, that all these trainers used to do, like, here's the diet, or that, all the magazines in the world have a diet that you should go. What's the, now everybody's doing paleo, everybody's doing intermittent fasting. It's not about the diet. It's about what your body needs. What is going on with your body? What is the awareness? Where do you need to be nurtured? We need to start asking those kind of questions. Okay. So this gives you an opportunity, and being on the call today gives you an opportunity of how you can really make self-care and reduce stress and have that be a priority, because it really needs to be a priority. Okay, here's your brain. This is a picture of your brain, and everybody hold up their right hand. And you know what? Open up those fingers. Really open up those fingers and stretch them out as wide as you possibly can. Ugh, look at my face. Like, how does that feel? We don't normally do that, right? It probably feels a little different, right? Now I want you to just take your fingers down like that, and maybe you can help them just a little bit with the other hand, and then now take them up. I just kind of snuck in a little bit of a stretch for you. Now I want you to take your thumb, cross it inside, and then put your fingers over it. This is your brain. This right here, your thumb, is your amygdala. That's where all your fear responses are. I like that. They made it 4 F's. Do you see that? So it's really 5: fight, flight, freeze, feed, and fornicate. This is where we stay safe. This is where we have a sense of belonging. And this is where we prolong the species, right? If we didn't fornicate, we wouldn't be here, right? So those are like our prime emotions and stuff. So its job is to keep us safe. Keeps us safe. And it's powerful. This is the crewman down on the boat. Okay? Little tiny part of the brain, but huge in how we behave and how we act and how we do it. So these fingers here are the brains that are just exactly like my puppies, like Amidala and Luke. They have this kind of same brain. And this brain helps with fear, and it helps with like, these are our emotions. This is when we're happy. This is called the limbic system, and it's kind of, you know, allows us to be happy. It kind of filters through our memories. When something happens, it knows where to place that memory in our brain. And then now take your left hand and let's open up that left hand as much as you can. Fingers nice and wide, and then push that away. And then use this brain to pull that down, stretch out the top of the arm, and then use the brain to push back. And then now take that brain and put this one over top of it. Okay, so now we have the prefrontal cortex, the neocortex. This is our thinking brain. This is the brain that we can think ahead. This is the captain. This is the captain of our ship. And this is the brain that we can think ahead, make plans. This is the one that is able to think in the future of how we want to be. This is the one that can tell us that we want to lose weight. I'm just using weight as an example. But you know, this is the one that says, oh my gosh, I have to lose weight. But again, that captain is saying that I want to lose weight. And what does this do? If it's not on board, it's not happening. It's not going to Bermuda, it's going to Miami, right? So this is very critical. And I also think that this starts the shit talker. Sorry about my words, but this starts the talking of. I want to make sure that somebody else isn't. This is the one that's talking that inner mean girl talk. That's the one that starts that. Because if we didn't know that we had a different idea of how we could be, right? If we didn't know that we had a different idea of how we could be, then we don't know that something's wrong and that we're doing something wrong, right? Okay, I would like, oh, let's see a chat. Somebody's chatting, yay. Oh, did you come in, Vicki? I thought I saw you. Vicki, are you in? Yeah, she's in. Okay.
Yeah. Since I'm on my phone, I can't see when you share screen, so I use my computer to see your screen.
Got it.
So
Got it.
thank you.
Okay, all right. I want everybody to come on up. I invite everybody to come up. Stand up. Roll the shoulders a little bit. Yay. And then now bring your hands down, make them nice and wide fingers again. Bring them down and then reach them out really wide. Really extend from the center of your chest all the way to the fingertips. Feel how those muscles in the arms are maybe starting to tingle. What does it feel like? I want you to notice what your body feels like right now. Just pulling those arms away from each other. Press your feet deeply into the earth, and then now inhale, rotate your palms up and then reach up high to the sky. As high as you can. And then take your left arm and reach it up even higher. And then take your right arm and reach it up even higher. Oh, and then again. And again. And then now bring your hands really wide and this far apart. I don't want them touching, but I want them behind your head. Right like that. And then I want you to push your head back into your hand, into your fingers. Open up the armpits nice and wide. Whew. Tell me that does not feel great. Tuck your tailbone just a little bit so you don't arch your back, your lower back. Yeah, so your ribs and your hip bones are all connected. And then now take your hands back again, push away. Push your thumbs away from you as much as you can. And then give me a shake again. Shake it all over. How did that feel? Everybody get unmuted?
Mm-hmm.
Give me your voice again if you can. And tell me how that felt.
Feels great.
Feel good?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. So we can use our body to make ourselves feel good too, right? But we also want to be able to use our brain to make ourselves feel good. So what's my next slide? Let's see what my next slide is. All right, let me see if anybody else needs to come in. When I'm sharing the screen, I don't get to see who's coming in. All right. So my puppies, my cute little puppies, I'll give you a picture of them again. There's Luke and there's Amidala. So when they, like for example, if I'm on a Zoom or I'm on a client call and they go crazy because they see something outside, they just bark, 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 right? They don't know, oh, mom's on the phone. I probably shouldn't be bothering her right now. They just act, right? So they don't have that prefrontal cortex. So that's what when we're under stress, that's what we get most of, okay? But what I want to share with you is that while it's powerful, while our brain is like the most amazing thing in the whole wide world. Like we can't even replicate what happens in our brain. We can't, think of the biggest supercomputer that you possibly could think of. Like think of NASA probably has all these, right? It's not even close to what our brain can do. We have 100 billion nerve cells in our brain. And those each have thousands of connections to each other. And what we used to think that those nerve cells stopped at age 20, that we didn't grow any more nerve cells after age 20, and that we didn't grow any more connections and the signals anymore after we were 20 or so. But guess what? Our brains are plastic. We have neuroplasticity that we can actually change the connections of our brain. It's so incredible that we are able to do that. And now we have the science to show us that we are able to do that, right? So does anybody know how many tens of thousands of thoughts we have? I'm gonna take you off of this again. And we're gonna show everybody. Okay, so with your hands, do you guys know how many tens of thousands of thoughts we have in a day? So using your fingers, this would be 10,000, this would be 5,000, 50,000. How many do you think we have in a day? How many? Five. Lots. Let me just tell you, you guys all do good. We have 50 to 70,000 thoughts go through our brain in a day. That's incredible. Think of the thoughts that you have. I would venture to say that most of the thoughts that are going through your brain are negative, because we're supposed to be thinking negative to keep ourselves safe. And do you know that the news outlets and all of the news, what do you think that they're there for? What do you think the news is supposed to do? News doesn't just provide us the news. They have to keep their lights on. So they have to have people watch their commercials, right? That their advertisers pay. So how do they get our attention if we are always looking for the negative? How do news channels get our attention? They give us the negative. They give us the negative. We can't help it. We go right to it. And then we start catastrophizing. That's just our brains. But now that we know this, we can be aware of it, okay? So I want you to, so we talked a little bit about that stress. I want you to take your hand, either hand, doesn't matter, and I want you to think of what your biggest stress is right now. So, and I want you to kind of make that hand into your biggest stress. Is it school? Is it kids? Is it your friend looked at you funny? Is it your mother-in-law? Is it your husband? Is it your weight? Is it COVID? You know, what is that number one stress right here? Put it on your hand. Okay, I want you to take a look at that and then put it over your face. Okay, now take a look around. Take a look around. How good can you see? How is that seeing? You have to go through all that stress to even see outside, to even see the monitor in front of you, to even see anything, right? Now take that away. And look at that hand as you take it away and you step back away from it, right? Now we can see what that stress is. We can see it here. It's not clouding our vision right now. It's over here. And we can, once we're aware of it, then we can handle it, okay? Everybody cool? Yeah? Any questions? If you have a question, raise your hand. All right. I'm going to go to the next one. This is, oh, we already did that. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. You guys, I'm not good at this. I've never said that I was good at any kind of technology. By the way, if you know me, you know what kind of issue I have with technology. And I'm very honest about it. Okay, so here you go. You have more, but even though you have, oh my goodness, Rebecca. There we go. Oh, my babies. All right, so what I want you to know that because of all this that you're learning right now, you have control over more than you think you have, okay? And I'm gonna show you how to have it. So one of the things is information, okay? The more you know. Remember that there used to be a kind of a public service, the more you know. It was, I can't remember, it was, you know, the more you know. And the more you know prepares you for handling things in a better way. So this chart is the death rates in 2016 and 2017 of the top 10 reasons for dying, causes of death, okay? Now, heart disease, okay, so COVID, I had this all written down and then now I've lost it. COVID is at 157,000 in the US, like 450,000 positive cases or have had it, but the death rate is 157,000. So there are 328 million people in the United States. COVID is taking less than 0.5% of those people. Less than 0.5% of the United States. Heart disease, and just heart disease alone, which is the number one, is taking 5% of our population every year. So COVID was just the half year till August. Heart disease takes 5%. Now take a look at these: heart disease, cancer, unintentional injuries, chronic lower respiratory disease, stroke, Alzheimer's. Heart disease is preventable. It's almost 100% preventable. If that is your stress, that is how you take care of your body. That is how you take care of your mind. That is how you take care of your mental abilities, where you live, you know, the relationships that you have. That can be changed. That can be avoided. Cancer, 30 to 50% of cancers can be avoided by lifestyle changes. That's, I'm getting this from the CDC or from the, got that from the American Cancer Society, I believe. Unintentional injuries, we don't know what those are. Chronic lower respiratory diseases, again, I think that a lot of that is also lifestyle. Diabetes, Alzheimer's, strokes, I think that is 70%, 80% of strokes are preventable with lifestyle choices. Diabetes, huge. Most of the diabetes in the world, in the US today, is what they used to call adult onset. And adult onset means that it was lifestyle. It was, you wore out your sugar receptors, right? You wore out your ability to process sugar as you aged. Now, children are getting diabetes. They are getting adult onset diabetes. We're not talking about type 1, we're talking about type 2. Preventable, 100%. 100% preventable. You can kind of tell that I get a little worked up about this, right? So any questions about that? Any questions at all about that? What I want to show you here, I don't want to scare you with this, but I want to show you that you have control of this. That this is much more, I don't want to say it's scary as COVID, but COVID, let's put COVID in its place. It's definitely needed. We need to make sure we wash our hands. We need to make sure we wear masks. We need to make sure and do all the things that they are telling us to do, right? But we also need to be to think about this. We're not going to put our life on hold because of COVID, okay? It's so funny. I just saw my hand go up, so I was going to call on myself.
Rebecca,
Yeah.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I
This
can.
is
Thank you.
Vicky. Okay, can I say something?
Yes.
I just want to validate what you just said. My middle daughter got diabetes when she was 12, MS in her late 20s, and cancer in her 30s. And she is much like your mindset. She does holistic looking at her body. So at one time, the MS had 5 lesions in her brain. She's got it down to 1. So her diabetes is well under control, and her cancer, she's going to be cancer-free in October, 10 years. And it's really because we've always been very health conscious, but she's always, from the day she was born, extremely high maintenance and type 1 personality. I mean, she's just been, if it's in her brain, it comes out her mouth. And she has done a lot of work on herself to calm down and be just a calmer person, and take a look at her whole life and change not only just organically what she eats, but just her own mental approach to life. And it has changed her life. It has changed her life. So I just wanted to validate what you're saying.
Yeah.
I have personal experience with it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. And it's, you know, and it can creep up on us. And also realize, just like the news, their job is to give us the negative news. That's their job, because they get the eyes and on the thing. Those advertisers' jobs are to have us buy more of the stuff that they're selling. What do you think they're selling? They're selling sugar cereals. They're selling pills to take care of our ails. They're selling ales. They're selling beer and wine and liquor. They're selling ways that you can feel better by buying something outside of you, right? So I want to empower you to know that you have it already inside of you. You have all the tools. You just need this. You need the tools and the skills, right? Because we've kind of gotten away from our bodies. Okay, so any other questions? We good? Okay, so what I do and what I'm doing with this, I'm taking a little bit longer. I'm sorry, my bad. What I want to tell you today is that, number 1, now you've got the awareness. And when I work with my clients, I make sure I give them lots of things to do to become aware of where they're being blocked, how we can pull away from it, and then also to have compassion for ourselves, because we didn't know, we don't know better, and also to have compassion of others. So when we can only manage our thoughts, feelings, actions, okay? We cannot manage other people's thoughts, feelings, or actions. And once we find that we go down that slope of trying to do that, the husband that should pick up his underwear, the daughter that should have a clean bathroom. The driver on the highway that should get out of the left lane if they're not going faster than me. Maybe that's my problem. I don't know if you guys have that problem. I have that problem. But you know what? It's not my job to tell that person how to drive. They have a different way of driving than I do. Maybe one's right. They're not right or wrong. They're different. And we need to understand that those kind of situations, that kind of thinking causes us stress. And we can, so I also teach people how they can be compassionate for other people. People are allowed to be their own selves. Okay. So once we have the awareness, once we have the compassion, then we have the care, and then we are in charge of our whole being. And then once we're in charge of our whole being, then we can help others and have that radiate throughout the world, right? And instead of being a negative and you know, yelling at people and causing all kinds of things, then we can be a source of goodness in the world. So what I want to ask you today, here's your assignment for today. Tomorrow, you are to have a huge glass of water with you. All right, drink your water. Huge glass of water with you tomorrow. And be ready to move because we've got some more movement. And we're going to do some activities that help us understand our mind a little bit. And we're also going to be talking a little bit more about our digestive system. Okay? So when you come tomorrow, water, be ready to boogie. And the biggest thing, guess what else you get to do? You get to find a half an hour today of movement. A half an hour. I don't care if it's 6 5-minute movements. If you were with me before, we were doing some dancing, that counts. If you can go out and take a walk, I'm not talking exercise. Movement's different than exercise. If you exercise, keep up your exercise. This is movement to reduce your stress. Okay, this is dancing. This is playing with your kids, playing with your grandkids, getting out in the pool, moving. Walks are beautiful, right? Walking, even if you're marching, you know, just watching TV. You know, how many times have we seen that commercial, marching to the oldies? Or you know, that's movement. We need that. Our body needs that and our brain needs that, okay? So I want to hear when you come tomorrow, you're going to tell me what your movement was, okay? And I want to see that big thing of wah-wah with you. Okay, any questions? Okay, I want you guys to all unmute yourself. Stand up. Oh, Lynn?
I just sent you a chat.
Oh, other people can join in tomorrow, of course. Of course, this is my gift to you. Well, you guys know why I'm doing this, right? Because I turned 55 this, when did I turn? Like last week? I can't remember.
Last week.
So I'm doing the 5-day challenge for me being 55. Woo,
Happy birthday.
right? Okay, we're gonna do a quick little dance and a woohoo. So you've got 10 seconds to get it all out. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Woo! 4, 3,
I'm a yin person.
2, 1. Good job. Thank you. If I don't have your email, make sure that you get my email. Send me an email or text me your email. I'll get you some information out tonight. And bless y'all. Go out and move.
Thanks, Rebecca. Thank you.
Thanks, Rebecca.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.